All right. Good afternoon, Pink Sox. I hope you had a good break and a good holiday. Hope we have some good weather this weekend. Right now it's Thursday. It's not looking great for tomorrow. Big shock. Of course, a Friday is supposed to rain, right? But the hope is that it won't carry over into Saturday. We don't play until we have a doubleheader on Saturday at 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock. So thank you, everyone who RSVP'd. I know that we have 14 girls ready to go. That's awesome. It's a great squad we have. I've been in contact with the four counties Little League Dragons. I've been in touch with their coach. Seems like a really great guy. Seems like he's on the same page as we are. They just want to have fun, just want to play a game. That's all I want to do. So I'm trying to convince the city of Gaithersburg to hold off on any rash decisions with the field closures for Saturday. A lot of times they like to make the decision fresh in the morning and then not again for the rest of the day. I can see the fields being maybe a little bit soggy at like 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. They're supposed to have clear sunny skies the rest of the day, and we're playing at 3 o'clock. So I'm trying to push them to get a secondary evaluation at about noon so that we're not called off for no reason. Okay, so that's where we are right now. I've been in contact with the league. I've been in contact with the city of Gaithersburg, and hopefully we can work something out and get these games in and finally get our girls on the field to play some ball, right? All right. This particular little video is just really going to be a little bit of a review and a little bit of a building up of what we've been doing the last 2 times that we've had a chance to meet on the Wednesday practices that we were able to get. And we're talking about backing up the bases. What I've seen in the last 2 weeks that we've practiced is an excellent progression. You're starting to get the hang of where to back up bases, when to do it, how to do it. That's important because, like I said, these other teams we play, I know this team on Saturday for sure, they put the ball in play a lot. So it's up to us to be smart with the ball, to know that what we're going to do with the ball, to know when we have to back up our bases, and to really be paying attention. So what I'm going to be talking about today is that and something I introduced in practice called the concept of pairings. What are pairings? Good question. All right. When you get into the game, when you get to the game, in our dugout, you're going to see a sheet hanging up, and it's going to have everybody's assignment for the entire game. Okay, for both games, actually. I already know where everybody is playing in every inning, all right? So you might find yourself on the bench, you might find yourself pitching, catching, right field, wherever it is, all right? The concept of pairing is to look at where you're playing and then identify your teammates and see where they're playing so that you can start communicating and start working out a plan. This way, in the middle of the game, if you're playing second base, let's say you're Vanessa and you're playing second base and you know that Jillian's at shortstop and the ball is coming to you, Vanessa, and you just yell out, "Jillian, take second." This way she knows to cover, just as a reminder, just in case that she forgot, you're communicating. It'll take a while. It'll take some, a little bit more practices, a couple more games of seeing you, together, which pairings work the best, and as you get used to each other. There are certain pitcher-catcher combinations that I know of from previous seasons that work really well because there's a certain rapport that the pitchers and catchers have built. Same thing with some second base and first base pairings. They know they're used to taking a throw, receiving a throw from one of their players. They know the way they throw. The other player knows the way they catch, and there's that relationship that's being built. And what I'm trying to get you to do, that's why I switch you around, is trying to get you to build those pairings with everybody. Okay? Now, obviously, in the game, if you're playing third base, you probably won't be communicating as much with first base on the complete opposite side of the field. Same thing with left field and first base or right field and third base, all right? But we're talking about the immediate pairings, the ones that you're going to see most common. Everybody should know who's pitching, okay? That's a given. No matter what, everyone should know who's pitching because in order to stop a play in softball, the ball has to be thrown to the pitcher. Once the pitcher has the ball and is standing in the pitcher's circle, that's where the pitcher pitches from, then the play is stopped. The runners can't advance any further, and the next batter is coming up into play. If you're holding the ball at first base, even if you're just holding it and you're holding it up and you're just looking around, the runner, if there's a runner on base, is allowed to still run during that time. So if you can't make the play at the base, as soon as possible, you'll hear us, we'll be there, me and Coach Jose and Coach Luis will be there, telling you where to throw. Get it to the pitcher. She has the ball, the play stops. And remember, if the ball is being thrown to the pitcher, look at where you are in position so you can back her up, all right? This may be a time where third base comes in handy. First base may have the ball and throw it to the pitcher. It may roll past her. Third base or shortstop, come on in, back her up. Make sure it doesn't go too far away so we can get the ball in the pitcher's hand as quickly as possible to stop any potential running going on, okay? So here's our field layout. All right, you know how this goes. All right, we've done the last. Oops, forgot right field. My bad. All right, we know how the fielding layout goes. All right, we've worked a lot in practice with the shortstop and second base combo. If the ball is hit to shortstop, if it's hit on this side, second base, comes over to cover second base just in case. If the ball is hit onto this side, shortstop goes over there. It's the same thing if the ball gets hit into the outfield, the left field and left center fielders, shortstop is your cutoff person. Right field, right center and right field, second base is your cutoff. It's easier if you know your teammates' names, all right? This is where teamwork and being a family and being one unit comes into play, because I know it's tough. Some of you haven't gotten a chance to play much yet because of the rain. Some of you haven't, are still learning the names, and that's going to come with time, right? You'll get there. But that's why when you see what the sheet says, when you get to the game and you see that, oh, okay, I'm in right field right now in the first inning, get to know who your first base and your second base players are, all right? It's this way because those are the ones you're most often going to be communicating with in a situation, because your cutoff person and the person you're going to be backing up on a throw. First base, same thing. Make sure, of course, you know who your pitcher is. Make sure you know who your right fielder is. So if there's a slow roller right up the line here and you need to charge in and grab it, don't be afraid to yell out, hey, right field, let's cover my base. Hey, whoever's out there, Morrow, Ava, whoever's there, get to the base. It's not barking orders. It's not, you're not doing it in a bossy way, but you're just doing it as a reminder. It's a way to communicate. As you play the game more, as you get more accustomed to seeing the ball in action in an actual game situation, you'll be a little bit more comfortable. You won't need those verbal cues as much. It'll just become second nature. And like I said, as you start working with certain players, over and over again, the same pairings, the same two, I can tell you right now, Soli is pitching and Micah is catching in the first inning to start us off on Saturday. Those two I know have pitched and caught with one another before. There's a comfort level there. Micah is used to the way Soli throws. Soli is comfortable with the way Micah catches. That doesn't mean it's always going to be that way. Sometimes, Micah will be catching when someone else is pitching. Sometimes Soli will be pitching when someone else is catching, so we can give everybody a chance. But forming that sort of comfort level makes things easier, and we'll see how that works. I don't know everyone's levels yet because we haven't seen it in the game. That's why I'm really hoping to get this game in so we can start seeing who works best together. It's a lot of trial and error as a coach, all right? That's part of the job. I know that from the fall there were a couple of players that I know that if one was at second and one was at first, it was a lock every time they threw it to each other. It was just perfect. If I took one of them out, it was completely different. There was a certain different style of play. What I'm trying to do is create that comfort level in these different pairings and also build new pairings so that everybody is as comfortable with everybody else on the team. That's how you get to know each other. That's how you get to play fully as a team, okay? So remember, when you get there, look at where you're playing, find the players around you that you're going to be interacting with, and just remember who they are. Maybe their jersey number will help you, just their name, whatever, just so that you can communicate, and don't be afraid to verbalize during a game. Don't be afraid to say, hey, Fiona, get my back. Hey, Anna, take care of that, while you're doing something. This way you're getting everyone's attention and knowing what you're doing in the game, okay? The other thing with Saturday is relax. And I've said this before. I know everybody wants to get up there. They want to get up. They want to take that big swing. They want to get that big hit. But if you don't, it's okay. All right? Don't put so much pressure on yourself, all right? Don't put the weight of the world on your shoulders. We do not win or lose the game as individuals. You heard me say it on day one, right? We win, we lose, we rise, we fall as one, all right? One unit, one team, one family. That's us, all right? Nobody wins or loses the game by themselves, all right? We're all in this together. So if someone, drops a ball, don't make her feel bad. Don't make fun of her. There's no need for that. And if it's you who dropped the ball, hey, it's all right. Next time, you get it. And if you don't get it next time, the next time you get it, all right? The important thing is to not let anything negative affect you and get into your heads up here, all right? This is a game. Yes, there's winning and losing, but at the end of the day, this is supposed to be fun. We're hanging out with our friends, with our sisters, on a Saturday afternoon with another team that's coming down to play us. They've got the same objective as we do, to have fun, go out there, and just play ball. So don't take it like this is, the most important thing in the world. Do your best. Go out there. Give your effort. Give your 100%. And if it happens to be that you strike out, oh well, you struck out. It's not a big deal. You're not going to get in trouble. You're not going to get forced to sit on the bench because you struck out. No one's going to make fun of you. It's not a problem. All right? So just go up there, have fun. Remember the fundamentals we talked about in practice. Keep your eye on that ball the whole way through. Don't wait for it to get right here before you start swinging, all right? Because then it's too late. Don't chase pitches high up here or high down here. Don't put the bat on your shoulder and do that golf swing, In the field, remember, you want to have that glove between you and the ball, all right? Don't hold it up here where you can't see, but don't try to catch it like this. Don't be afraid of it, all right? You'll be fine. You girls have been doing an excellent job. I know we haven't gotten to play any real games. I know that we've had some modified practices because of the rains that we've been having. This will be, I think, 7 out of 8 practices tomorrow if it does hold up. That would be on a Friday right now. I don't understand what's happening. But despite all of that, every single one of you has made excellent progress. All right, so I hope that you can at least take some pride and take some happiness out of that, because I know that I do, because I think it's great seeing how you've grown despite all the odds against you with the way the weather's been. All right, remember your pairings, remember how to communicate in the field, remember what bases you're backing up. If there are any questions, that's why you've got us there in the field. That's why you've got your teammates there with you. All right, remember, we're one unit. There's no individuals in this sport. All right, this is a team sport, and that's the way we win or lose, as one, as a team. All right, so keep our fingers crossed for Friday. Keep them extra crossed for Saturday so we get some games in, and hope to see you all soon. All right, let's go Sox.